Eljiah Mitchell, starting running back for now for the 49ers. I liked his production last season, but it was all volume-based. It wasn't really like anything special when he actually did get the carries. So we'll see what happens with him.
They didn't spend high draft capital on him.
No,
so you can't expect them to commit.
They have a tendency to have a different starting running back every year. So keep your eyes on Tyrion, not Game of Thrones Tyrion, but 49ers Tyrion, rookie running back from LSU.
Yeah, probably drinks and those things, right?
Oh, yeah. Drinking, he knows things like G. But next we got D-Hop, suspended 6 games, thinks he needs to take steroids or whatever. I do like him when he comes back in that high-powered offense, but, in the 9th round, it's still a little risky for me personally, but his talent's there, but he is getting older. Next we got Budda Baker, who I absolutely fucking love in IDP. He's a great safety. He's undersized, but he has proven that he can get a ton of tackles. Last season a little down for him, but I'm not too worried about it. His tackles are going to come. I just like him because he has the ability to get sacks and make plays, get interceptions, and pass deflections, which we like to see. Next, we got Jamal Adams, who's a fucking beast. Should be playing linebacker, too, for Seattle if they're smart, because he can make plays. Had a down year last year, but I expect Seattle's defense to be on the field a lot this season because they're going to be kind of bad. So that should benefit him for sure in IDP.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, guys, if you watched our IDP video on D-backs, we had Budda over Jamal Adams. It just so happens to shake out that we took all of our rankings, separated, and made a consensus rankings. And based on how we view where people should be drafted in the top 150, it's going to shake it up a little bit. So, this is all of our opinions combined. So when you're in a draft, Budda Baker, Jamal Adams, pretty similar. If you like Budda more, go for it. If you like Jamal Adams more like me, take him. You really can't. I don't think you can really go wrong with these two. But just so you guys know, if you see some differences in our videos, that's why.
Yeah.
What he said.
Exactly. And now coming in at 96, we got Big Mike Williams. Check out our video. I did a buy in Dynasty for him. They just extended him. He had a very good season last year. I want to have pieces of really good offenses, and I like Mike Williams, and I really don't think he's going to be that expensive to buy in Dynasty. So go get him. Expect a really good receiver too for your team. And Keenan is getting older, so we'll see what happens there. He'll still be good, but
guys, just to talk about the Chargers, because I love myself some J Herbs.
Oh yeah.
If they draft a rookie next year, I'm all over it. If I can get my hands on him, I mean, if they get a guy in the first round, if they have a first rounder, it's gonna be fantastic. Yeah. They're setting up for the future. It's gonna be a Jamar Chase type of deal where they draft a fucking receiver and
unless they get a Jigba, it ain't gonna be Jamar Chase.
Well, yeah.
I don't expect them to have a high pick, so I think they'll be pretty good. But yeah, and you always in fantasy, you want pieces of the pie from good ass offenses. That's why Sky Moore's value's been higher than maybe his pre-draft, ranking, because he's in a good ass offense. So always look for that stuff, because sometimes situations outweigh, talent sometimes, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Speaking of situations over talent.
Next. This is so set up for me to do.
Do not disrespect one of the best universities in the United States. You just can't. You can't. Come on, Dev. You know this.
So, coming out 95, we got CE fucking H, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This is a prime example of what we're talking about with James Cook earlier. Just because he wanted a good landing spot, don't trust it. That's what I fucking did in our rookie draft a couple years ago. I am a Wisconsin fan. I know how good Jonathan Taylor is. I liked him a lot. He went to a really good spot in the Colts too. But I was so attracted to the landing spot of the Chiefs in the first round that I didn't value his talent. And, luckily I won the league that year, so we're all right. We feel okay about it. But if I had JT last year, I'll be honest, I probably would have fucking won the league again. So, Clyde, I finally traded him in any league I had him. At this spot in the draft, he's actually a pretty good pick, I think. But I know there's a good chance, guys, just from my experience, since I traded him, he's going to be good this year. So put that into play. They do have a crowded backfield, though, with McKinnon back and Rojo. So just be careful.
Not to mention, who'd they draft? Isaiah Pacheco or whatever. He. I don't know. I keep seeing reports he's the biggest standout in all training camp for some reason.
Clyde could easily lose his job.
Speaking of bad luck, Christian has bad luck with drafting guys and they retire. We just did a startup draft the other week, and I got a notification about Justin Jefferson, and I was just about not ready to look at that notification because it was 1 hour after we drafted, literally 1 hour after we completed the draft, and I was like, crap. He something happened. He's out of the league.
Yeah, Andrew Luck and Kuechly, right?
I mean, we did our first IDP expansion draft, and in the second round, I took Luke Kuechly. This is a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Kuechly retired 2 days later. We did our original IDP for the Dynasty League. I took Andrew Luck in the second round because he was one of the highest ranked QBs. It was him and Mahomes. Was it?
Yeah, he didn't overvalue.
It was we didn't do super flex then.
Yeah, we started off with
I took a high QB pick because I didn't want to worry about a QB. I wanted an elite QB, and Andrew Luck 2 weeks later decided to retire. Did that throw my team through a ringer a little bit? Yeah, because then I panicked and made some really bad trades.
Really?
You live and you learn and you trial and error and you move on.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, my team's one of the best in the league now, and it took a long time to build from a lot of really shitty trades.
That is an example, not to use it as a bad example, but like, do be careful when you make some trades because it is it is possible. Like we've seen it, not just obviously Christian what he's saying, but I've seen it with other teams that you make two, 3 bad trades and you don't think them all the way through. You might reset your team a couple years back, and it's honestly harder than you think sometimes to like make a good team in Dynasty. You got to be patient, and some people in leagues I've been in are not. So we'll see.
You know,
Go through the draft.
Sometimes you get the first overall pick, and it's not guaranteed. It's never guaranteed.
Usually, like if you have the second overall pick, you're usually fine though.
Usually.
I mean,
in our history, it's been
in our history, the second overall pick's been pretty good.
Yeah. Hopefully it changes this year, but
hey, number 1 can be good. Just 2 points better.
Yeah, right.
well, while they make fun of me, neither of them still have gotten a playoff win, so it's all right.
Yeah, because Jamar Chase scores 1 point 1 week and 55 the next, whatever. Like that's normal. That's my fault. You're right, you guys. Sorry, I shouldn't have started Jamar Chase. Would have won the league. Anyways.
Did you actually win one or not?
I don't know.
I don't think you did.
I've been screwed over every
because
Adam actually has the most points against him ever.
The first year in our league, you I don't know. I'm pretty sure you lost because
probably
it was me, Jake, Connor, and you might I don't know. You might have won that league.
Oh yeah.
Let's get to these defensive lines.
This year I'll finally have my team follow through in the playoffs.
Yeah, he'll win all the way to the championship and lose to me. He'll be great. After I beat Devin in the second round.
Coming on at 94, we got Brian fucking Burns. Don't burn your hand, Brian Burns. Don't be JPP. You have all the talent in the world. Don't lose a finger because you need that for pass rushing.
Fingers.
I wonder what she's doing. But story for another time, folks. But Brian Burns is a beast. He's gotten the sacks production. I hope it goes up. But he's an elite talent. Love him for IDP. Next, we got Maxx Crosby. As Christian said in our IDP video, he's scared of him. So you should be scared of him. But don't be scared to draft him because he's a fucking beast. He's got Chandler Jones, one of the best pass rushers of all time, paired with him. So that should help his sack production this season. Coming up next is Dawson Knox. Yeah, Dawson Knox, he's okay. Take it away, Adam.
I am thrilled that people are finally starting to talk about this guy.
We've been waiting years. For Dawson.
Guys, let me tell you.
Man.
I just had a reel the other day talking. I think I mentioned Josh Allen. I drafted Josh Allen. Yes, I did. Great value pick in our startup draft. Okay.
Don't even get me started on Herbert.
And what I did on top of that was I saw this guy, Dawson Knox, on a highlight reel on Instagram, and I was like, I gotta get my hands on this man. He's gonna be good. He's a beast. He's Kittle 2.0. I got my hands on him, and I'm like, why don't I do one better? Pick up Stephon Diggs, get him in a trade before he goes to the Bills, and look, I've been riding happy since then. I don't even.
He's Bill's Mafia, right?
I love Josh Allen on my team.
I'm not even. Yeah, he's good on your team now. But Dawson Knox. I'm not even starting the guy because I got Darren Waller, but he is. I'm liking him as my second tight end. I mean, a lot of people want him from tight end number 1. So
if you want to trade him to me, I won't start him either because I got Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I might put him at the flex.
Don't think I would either with Kittle. But yeah, Knox, very good tight end. That's another example of
fringe tight end 1.
Certainly.
Definitely. That's definitely an example of a guy that tight ends, they don't all produce right away. Most of the time, it takes them a couple of years to get going.
Listen, this guy, I saw him catch the ball with both toes an inch away from the sideline with his knees over the sideline. like he was doing the Michael Jackson Thriller dance, double teamed in a game. And you're telling me that you don't believe that he has a chance to be great?
Yeah.
Go watch his film. He's a great blocker, too. Go watch his film.
Again, invest in good offenses. Next, 91, Fred Warner. Best pass coverage linebacker probably in the league. It's great for IDPs. He gets solid tackles every year. I hope they go up a little more, and I hope he can get some sacks, but he's a very good option for LB1 and IDP.
Next up, this is another good one. 90, we got Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson, he's on the Jets. The Jets, man, they're starting to invest a lot in their team. I mean, the amount of guys they got in this last draft, it was impressive. I like their draft a lot. Zach Wilson, we got, Zach Wilson. I think he's kind of like right there with like Mac Jones, like in the sense of like we always like think of him too. Mac Jones. Big Mac, the Joker Jones. Okay.
Yeah, and Zach, the more moms.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I mean,
seriously.
They got the offensive threats. They just got Breece Hall, one of the better running backs in the past draft class. That'll be good for Zach Wilson to have someone who the offense can rely on to give the ball to. He's going to get yards. Definitely going to switch up the play calling, relieve some pressure from Zach Wilson. They got the Corey Davis still there. People are kind of thinking he's not relevant anymore. I still think he'll be relevant in the offense. Maybe not as good as he was when he was on the Titans, but Garrett Wilson's coming in. Great receiver from Ohio State. He's with Olave. Garrett Wilson, definitely better than Olave. Good situation. Next up, we got 89 Derek Carr. Just got Devonta Adams. We kind of talked about that offense a little bit back, but it's looking good for Derek Carr. Many more threats, many more options. It's just, I think he's going to be more efficient this season. Nothing crazy, but just more efficient because of the options he's got. He's getting older for Dynasty, but definitely a solid quarterback that you can plug into your lineup with ease. Next up, Jordyn Brooks had a great season last year with the Seattle Seahawks. He's losing competition for tackles now with Bobby Wagner gone. I'm liking him there in that defense. Next, we got Jeremy Chinn. This guy plays D-back, and he comes up to linebacker area. Definitely a good guy for tackles. Young guy. Had a great rookie season. Last year was still pretty good, but I'd like to see a rebound and some improvement. Next up, probably my favorite guy in all of the NFL, Gabe Davis.
Oh man,
all the NFL, holy fuck.
Holy shit!
I'm
not on the
one of my best sleepers. I mean, people are definitely starting to
wake up on him.
Definitely starting to wake up. Probably starting to draft him about where he should be going. But a value in the 8th round, middle of the 8th round, this is a great pick. I mean, he might not produce to the value this season, but he's definitely going to be the next couple seasons reaching that standard. Gabe Davis talked about him in the buy sells. Opportunities endless.
Similar to Mike Williams in Los Angeles, so.
Except for the fact that he's only 23 here. So we got at least 7 seasons more with Josh Allen. Unless there's some trades or signings, whatever, pairing a great young receiver with a great young quarterback. Bills Mafia. I like the Bills.
Listen, they like to throw the ball deep. Gabe Davis likes to run deep, and Josh Allen likes to throw the ball deep.
Yep. 85 Dalton Schultz from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I did not expect this guy to have a season last year, to be honest with you. I acquired a Dynasty team prior to last season. I'm like, who is this Dalton Schultz guy? Like, I don't even know if I should keep him on my team.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I got some rebuilding to do with this lineup, so I'm just going to keep this guy. He's a young tight end. Hopefully something happens. He was one of the better tight ends in the league last year. Yeah. Top 10 for sure.
Zach loves him. He's getting targets.
Yeah, this guy's getting targets, which is huge for PPR. So
Cooper's gone.
So, great pick for a tight end here again. One of those guys where it's like, maybe if you don't get the top 3-4 tight end guys, you can wait a couple rounds and get Dalton Schultz for a good price.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Joey Bosa, one of the Bosa brothers. He gets the job done for the Chargers. He gets sacks. It's what we like. We like sacks in fantasy.
Love sacks.
I'm glad you clarified it in fantasy.
We have to clarify. You always want to clarify, guys. You always want to clarify.
Moving on.
Oh, fuck.
Big Mac the Joker Jones. He got that nickname in college. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he still jokes around the locker room, but you know, his coach is he's more of a classic guy, so I don't know how much he likes that, to be honest with you.
He's probably scared of it.
Yeah, but Mac Jones posted the other day on Instagram. Give us a follow. We post every day. Great insights. Mac Jones, I like the guy a lot. He had a good season last year. Great season as a rookie. You know, I don't know why people don't like him. It's just something that's
in the water they're drinking.
Bothering them. I mean, same situation with Josh Allen. People weren't liking him after his first season, and I was like, how can you not like this guy? He's 6'5", huge. He can run, and he can gun it down the field. Jameson Williams, Christian loves this guy. I personally don't. He's a talent, but he's on the Lions. Jared Goff, yeah, he's a solid quarterback. But he was really, you know, he's solid, but you know, it's
nothing special.
It's nothing special.
I got something.
He's replaceable.
I got something.
I gotta finish something before Christian's got something to say, because this is my 10. Jameson Williams, he's got the talent, he's got speed, but he's coming off an injury. You know, he's got some competition for targets there, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, they drafted him early, but the Lions, there's no guarantee they ever get a quarterback that can supply all those targets. DeAndre Swift, a pass-catching back, mainly. Amon-Ra St. Brown, TJ Hawkinson, and whoever else they have in the future.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Jared Goff can ever supply enough to have these guys be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen. You make up some pretty good points, and a lot of people have seen that be a solid reason, especially when you got Jared Goff at QB. I get it. I'm not looking at Jameson Williams this year and going, hey, I'm expecting to put up wide receiver 1 numbers. But I look at him as a pristine talent. I look at the ACL injury being one where usually not the season right after the injury, but the season after that, they explode. At the same time, that season should be around the time where the Lions have another awful, disastrous season where they have a top 5 pick. And I expect them to take a QB this time. They got a new coach. I like this team. They're very young. They have all the weapons to walk into and build chemistry with. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I love him too. And you know what? It's good to have people on the field with you that are targets to an extent. It depends on the chemistry at the end of the day. Jameson Williams, there's a reason in Madden he has a 98 overall running speed. All right? Because he's freaking fast. This guy is going to jet down the field. He gets open. Yards after catch, he's fucking bursting through people. You just got to watch his film and you will understand. He is a talent at the end of the day. He is one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver talents. Had he not been injured, he would have been the first wide receiver on the board. No questions asked. It's literally just because he got injured, and that's fine. It's an ACL injury. He is what you call a long-term investment. And we love that in the finance world.
He is a long-term investment. But like I said, this is a consensus ranking, so some people's rankings of people outrank other players. So I personally would have had Jameson Williams below Garrett Wilson, possibly below Christian Watson myself.
That's fine.
Just because, guys, think about it. You can have a top 5 pick and mess it up big time. You can have a top 10 pick and mess it up big time. I know of a team who's done it twice.
And my one point I'll add about Jameson Williams, because I agree with everything they're saying, more Adams side personally, but he's at Ohio State with 2 guys that got drafted this year and a guy who's going to be the next Jamar Chase probably next year. And he had to leave. Yes, he went to Alabama and fucking produced, but I'm just saying.
And you know why he left? Because those guys were older. They were there longer. He left early. He's the only one of that entire group to have left early. Jackson Jigba Smith is going to leave early.
He couldn't get playing
He's
time,
going to be great. Right, because he had a freshman underneath him that is a world-class talent that has only been seen once other in the NFL in the last 10 years, like Jamar Chase.
Once other?
Who else is on that level coming into the league as Jamar Chase, talent-wise?
I don't know. I was going to say NFL-wise, but...
End of story, guys. We don't know what's going to happen for sure, but at the end of the day, we've seen it time and time again where a player, no matter how good, they're destroyed based on where they go for the draft because it's such a bad draft pick. Look at Corey Davis, was supposed to be one of the best receivers, coming out of that draft class he was in, and he went to the Titans.
And Ezekiel Elliott to the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean he had a great season 2 seasons ago, but Titans, they had Mariota for a while, and then I don't know who they had in between, but then Ryan Tannehill, they didn't really invest. But then we saw that A.J. Brown came in, the young gun, and took over the target. So I'm worried about that.
If Amon-Ra St. Brown could produce last year in a worse situation than they are now, I think that Jameson Williams has a similar opportunity because of the fact that he's got a talent. I like to bet on talent a little bit more than I do situation. Obviously, we just got done talking about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So it is a controversial topic. At the end of the day, you got to find that right balance of situation and talent. He definitely leans the scales towards talent over situation heavily. Maybe it's too heavy, maybe it's not. He's got to prove it. He's got to take that talent, come back from his injury. Yeah, a lot of people have come back, but he's got to come back and do it himself. At the end of the day, it's not an easy task. I'm saying he's a very high risk, high reward player.
Yeah, he is.
Very true.
It's very true.
81, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Kind of talked about the Lions already here. Amon-Ra, like Christian was saying, he did have production near the end of the year, but I looked into it, and T.J. Hawkinson really wasn't playing much.
And
so that
Swift too.
And Smith too.
Yep.
So that begs the question: does Goff have what it takes to give multiple players respectable fantasy points? I don't know. So
it really depends on how
if you guys have
the
faith,
system is.
If you guys have faith in the Lions getting a good quarterback next year, then yeah, go for it. It's worth the risk. I personally wouldn't want to be drafting him, that early in a startup draft myself. I think there's some other guys who are tried and true, but in a rookie draft, I can totally see taking him 5, 6, 7 because
it's so
you're
close.
still taking risk with anyone there.
Right.
So.
Rookie drafts, like I said earlier, build through the draft, take some risks, go after talent at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because the situations on every NFL team changes drastically season to season, unless they are set in stone solidified player that they committed to by an extension. If they don't get that extension, they're not solidified, and their situation is more likely to change. So pay attention to that. Moving on to number 80. I love this guy. I've loved him since the draft. I thought that he just needed to be in the right situation. He finally got Russell Wilson at quarterback. Jerry Jeudy, one of, if not the best at separating himself on the field to get open last season and just over his career. Does he have injury questions? Yes, that's why he's at number 80. Otherwise, he'd be higher. He's in a great situation this upcoming year. This could be Jerry Jeudy's breakout season. If it's not, he might get one more chance next year and then he's done. So does he have a pretty lower floor? Sure. But I think that the likelihood of him hitting the floor than the ceiling is very different. So, again, Jerry Jeudy, one of the best out there. Go get him. 79. A lot of people love him. I'm not in love with him, but I do think that he's going to be great eventually, and that's Drake London. He's a great target in the red zone. He's a big guy. They do have Kyle Pitts over there. Like you mentioned earlier, Marcus Mariota ain't the best QB to have for a wide receiver. I don't see that being permanent. Do I see Desmond Ridder being the answer? I mean, I don't think he's Allen Iverson, so I don't really know. But what I do know is the fact that if Desmond Ridder fails, they will draft another one. Atlanta will go up in the draft and draft another one. They're going to be bad. They're going to have an opportunity, kind of similar to the Lions situation, where they have a lot of tools and they just need one more thing. And that's the QB.
Yeah, exactly. And even if Desmond Ridder isn't good, what poor quarterbacks love, what they love is big bodies. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, both big bodies to reel down some catches. Drew Brees, one of the best quarterbacks, but he's such a big body, short routes, he was just go-to. I mean, this is what Drake London and Pitts will be for Ridder if he's not anything good. So
right.
I think they'll still put up good production if that's the case.
For sure. 78, I'm high on him. Was high on him before the news this offseason. Even higher on him now. He's the GOAT. He doesn't take crap from no woman. That's right. It is Zach the More Moms Wilson. He gets out there, and you know what he does? I can't say that. I'm sorry. I can't say that. But what I can say is that this guy is a very underrated playmaker. He uses his legs. He gets out on the field. He can throw the ball deep. And he has targets now. He has Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore on the outside. They went out and they got CJ Azuma, who's a solid tight end. Is he the best? No, but he's a solid and he was productive when he was in Cincinnati. Not to mention, they got Breece Hall, who is one of the best talents in this draft. We'll talk about him later and make you guys all excited. Anyways, Zach Wilson is getting more involved in this offense. I see the Jets having potential to be similar to the Bengals, where you thought they might be decent, might not, and they could just take the league by storm. They have the potential to do that. Will they do it? I don't know. We got to see if Zach Wilson's like Joe Burrow and if he's got the shiesty in him to pull it off. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to find out. But what I've seen so far, Zach Wilson might be the next shiesty QB. Yeah. At 77, we got Marquise Brown. Traded to Arizona. Going to be wide receiver 1 for a minimum the first 6 weeks. If he could produce with Lamar Jackson throwing in the football, he can produce with Kyler Murray just fine. So I don't want to hear it. Did Kyler choke in the playoffs completely? Does he have some issues with watching film? Obviously, they had to put in this contract. Seriously, 4 hours of film a week, that's hard for you. If you're starting QB in the NFL, making that kind of money, 4 hours a day shouldn't be too much to ask. Right. At the end of the day, Marquise Brown, he's fast. You know, his cousin, he's kind of crazy. Also kind of one of the best of all time in Antonio Brown. He's still young. Hopefully he builds that chemistry with Kyler early on.
College quarterback, too.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it's there. Hopefully it extends into the league the way Joey Beans and Jamar did. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they're like Team Shiesty like we just talked about. Moving on. 76, Darius Leonard. 28-year-old linebacker. He is one of the best you can have in the league. At the end of the day, he's gonna get some of the most tackles in the league. He's gonna get a few sacks. Might get a pick here or there. A couple passes deflected. He can do it all. It's what you need. You just need those stats. It's what IDP is. You get those stats, you're great. Mm-hmm. It's one of the best linebackers to have. 75, we got Chase Young. He needs to stay healthy. If he's healthy, he's got Montez Sweat over there on the other side. That is a scary pass rush to have for the Commanders. And you know what? Chase Young is going to command a lot of attention on the line because of how elite of a talent. You know, we talk about Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa from Ohio State, and Chase Young was told by everyone that he was better than both of the Bosa brothers. So I want to see that translate a little bit more. He's got that potential. He's got sack potential, tackle potential, edge rusher potential. Maybe he even gets that linebacker tag eventually if they decide to switch it up a little bit over there. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's one of the best. Go get him. He's young. He's one of those guys on defense you're going to take a chance on. If he's healthy, it was worth the risk. 74, talked about him a little bit already. Elijah Moore, ranked higher than Garrett Wilson. Why? Because Garrett Wilson said it himself in an interview today, actually. Garrett Wilson has to go out there and prove himself. Elijah Moore has. Elijah Moore is a great talent. We were waiting for it all last season. Towards the end of the year, he started doing it. Was it really his fault? No, I think it's the Jets. That's all I have to say. It's the Jets. Zach Wilson was still figuring out rookie QB. They got the chemistry. He's great wide out on the outside. Can play between the lines. He can do it all. 73, Derwin James. One of my favorite D-backs to have. One of those guys who also, I don't know if he's officially gotten the tag, but he should be getting the linebacker tag here soon. They rush him enough to get sacks. He gets deflections, gets a ton of tackles. Again, one of those advantages where you have an elite D-back there. It's a big advantage. 72, Devin White, another great young linebacker in the league down there in Tampa Bay. Had a great rookie year. Fell off a little bit last year. Not going to lie. But, you can't expect to be the best in the league every year. He had a monster year his rookie year to a point that, was honestly so unexpected and unequivalated. That's a new word for you. Devin, I know you love Devin White. I mean, he's kind of your boy.
Yeah, he's a beast. Helped me win a championship. He's really good. The sacks weren't there last year, so he's got to improve the tackle numbers if the sacks aren't going to be consistent. But he's up there with, top 3-4 linebackers I want as my starting linebacker in IDP. So
Yeah, exactly. And to round off the 71, so around the first pick, 7th round, end of the 6th here, Ezekiel Elliott. Now, some people might feel this is low, but you have to remember, one, this is Dynasty. Zeke is getting up there in age for running back. He has been tried. He has been great. I feel people are moving on from Zeke too quickly when they still want to use him a great amount. I still feel like he has a lot to prove. I still feel like he wants to win, go out there and play, like produce and show that he still can do it. They have Tony Pollard, so if something happens, it happens. But Zeke, again, he's got probably a max 2-year price tag on him. Now, of high production, sure. At least 1 year. He's worth a 7th, 8th round pick because he does put up running back 1 numbers consistently week in, week out. But you have to be careful with that price tag. He's got a deadline, he's got an expiration date, and it's coming up. So just be careful with Zeke. Don't take him too early.
All right, then at number 70, we got Josh Jacobs. He hasn't been producing quite to the extent we thought he was coming out as a rookie, but he's been solid every year. Last year, I think he was running back 13 total for PPR. This guy, he puts up solid numbers. We saw that after Gruden was done, and they had that interim coach or whatever, assistant coach, whoever it was. He was catching a lot of passes, which was pretty intriguing to me. If he can keep up that receiving load this next season, hopefully get some more efficient carries in that offense, considering the passing throw with Devonta Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, he could be a great option. I think 70 is a great place to get him at for that quality of the back. Now, there are questions with, they just drafted a running back in Zamir White, who was a 5-star recruit, one of the best in the nation coming out of high school, had some injury history, but still is an athletic guy. And just, with his contract coming up, we don't know. We don't know what's looking for him going forward. But definitely a good place for him at 70. 69, Rashod Bateman.
Sexy pick.
I like this guy a lot. I tried getting him in one of our leagues, but then I decided it probably wasn't the best move for a trade.
I'm pretty sure I just rejected the trade, but
no, I can't
Super
say
fun.
before he got to it.
Oh, well, I wasn't accepting it, so.
Well, it was a good offer.
It was solid, yeah.
It was a good offer. Thank God I got to before Christian had the chance to even think about it. But yeah, Rashod Bateman. Sometimes you can't have every player on your team.
I wouldn't have accepted that.
Well, you didn't go for it, so.
You texted me about it, and I told you I was doing it.
No, you didn't.
You texted me.
I said I sent you a trade. I think it's a.
And I responded. I think it's a fair offer, but I don't want to take the risk.
After I canceled.
I didn't see you cancel it. I wasn't accepting it.
Well, if you weren't accepting it, you should have declined right away then.
I was on my phone.
Dude, I let it sit for 24 hours. So yeah, anyways, Rashod Bateman, good pick. I mean, I like him a lot going forward. I liked him coming out of college. Wish I would have had a pick in that first round to take him. That was later, but I just couldn't pass up on my boy Devonta Smith at 62. But yeah, next up we got 68, Nick Bosa.
Yeah? A little preview there.
Yeah, 68, Nick Bosa. You don't really enjoy Bosa. Gets the job done for San Francisco.
Hell yeah.
We like sacks, so pick that guy for your defensive line.
Yeah.
67, Roquan Smith, best linebacker in fantasy football.
Hell yeah, baby! Birdo!
Still young, producing tackles every single season. We like it. 66, Keenan Allen. We don't want to be drafting someone like Keenan Allen too early, considering his age, guys. We don't want to be picking him up, before some of these other younger guys who got a much longer shelf life. I know, some of these guys aren't as solid as Keenan Allen. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to win this year, get this guy in your startup draft. But, dynasty-wise, his value is definitely fleeting. 30 years old. He's with Justin Herbert, which is great, but, I'm worried this guy only has 3 more good years of production, while some of these other guys have, 7 potential years, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Next up, Leonard Fournette. A lot of reports about his weight lately, but he's trimmed back down, so that's good news. Tampa Bay, they used him a lot in the passing game last year, and this season going forward, I'm sure we're going to see that again. He's just, he's a freak. He's huge, quick. He can run people over, catch the ball. Great option. He's 28 though, so
shelf life.
Shelf life.
It's probably good for a year or two. maybe.
Yes, great pick for a year or two.
Watch out for Rashod White in that offense as well.
Yeah.
You never know. He might explode. He is a great talent.
Yep. 64, Aaron Jones, same story, but we got A.J. Dillon, more promising than anyone in Tampa Bay, coming behind their older back. So Aaron Jones will definitely get the receptions. He'll definitely have quality games for fantasy. But again, his age, his contract's coming up. Correct?
Yeah, they haven't. They extended him, but they have a couple years ago, but they have an opt out after this year. So
yeah, so you don't know what's gonna happen with that. 63, T.J. Hockenson. This guy, Lions. We know their situation, but he's a great tight end. He's young. 63, great value pick. 62, we got Devonta Smith, one of my favorite receivers. He's on the Eagles. Love the Eagles offense. Great rookie season considering we've had great seasons out of Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. Not going to see that out of everyone. This guy was a Heisman winner in college. I know college doesn't mean everything, but he had a great year in his first season with being receiver one against cornerbacks, the number one cornerback on every team. So, we like to see that out of a guy.
With the struggling Jalen Hurts, too.
Exactly. And a struggling offense. So
struggling lines, there was no run game in that. Devonta Smith was alone and he still produced. That's impressive.
Yeah. 61, Myles Garrett. Again, athletic, vicious, freak on the line. I mean, we saw what he did to Rudolph. Almost, took his head off. I like that competitiveness. Now,
I forgot about that.
I mean,
I'll never forget about that.
I like that competitiveness. Now, obviously, I think that's too far, but I like a guy.
I don't know, man.
I like a guy in football who's on defense, who wants to rip people apart, and that's Myles Garrett.
Listen, I heard Mason Rudolph had some language he liked to use to Myles Garrett, and let me just put it this way: you're walking down the street, you see Myles Garrett, you're gonna say some words to him. Expect him to take your helmet off and try to beat you to death with it. All right,
and guys,
it might have honestly been deserved.
Let's not forget, this was on national television in front of tens of thousands of fans, probably 70 or 80,000. If he would have made contact, that guy would have been fucking dead. I think, dude, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, he won't do it because it's the NFL. He did it, but he missed. He wanted to.
Listen, he ain't playing baseball for a reason. Although I'll tell you, the NBA celebrity game, this guy was getting up and dunking. Yeah, you got an athletic beast. He gets buckets on and off the court and on and off the field. And he's a monster. Go get Myles Garrett. It's simple. He sacked my Bears 4.5 times in one game. Yeah, that was a really, really good fantasy game for him, to say the least. I really loved that a lot.
A lot of points for me. But coming up next at 60, we got our favorite rookie receiver, most of ours, Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, Titan.
He's still my favorite, just letting you know.
Still my favorite.
So all of ours then, for sure. Burks, I love his landing spot. He does remind me of A.J. Brown a little bit coming out, I'm not going to lie. And I'm a huge A.J. Brown fan. It might be a plug and play. Let's see. I'm excited about it. I think people are sleeping on him. And if people are in your leagues that are questioning that maybe them taking them in dynasty startups or even rookie drafts, go get them now. I'm serious. You're not going to regret it.
This guy is NFL ready. I mean, you watch the tape. You got to take into account the tape, the stats, everything.
Did he leave early? Everything.
You watch the tape. This guy was manhandling cornerbacks,
SEC.
safeties. It was insane. This guy was going up into 50-50 balls and he was just ripping it out of people's hands. This guy
turning around and running it for another 20 yards.
Yes, he's literally A.J. Brown's build. But
if you're worried about asthma, build a bridge and get over it. He's been playing football how many years with it?
I'm not
worried. I think he's gonna be fine. I think they'll figure it out. They gave him some drugs or something.
We were worrying about stripes on a football last year.
Yeah, seriously, with Jamar Chase, exactly.
So, next, 59. If you watch the buy-sell video, I don't like this guy, but Antonio Gibson, he could be a solid running back for you if you're trying to compete right away. Nice RB2, but I don't like him, so I personally would not take him at the end of the 5th round of startup. But he could have some more value than we're giving him credit for. But definitely stay clear and be a little cautious with this dude. Next, 58, the Walrus, Darren Waller. He's a fucking animal. He's getting some help with Devonta Adams, so that should help him get some more open looks. I like him a lot. I think he's got a lot of years left that he can be, a tight end, top 3 tight end. So definitely if you want an early tight end, target Walrus. Next, AJ fucking Quadzilla Dillon. I'm a Packers fan, but I'm expecting a huge season. Him and Aaron Jones are going to lead this offense. You're probably too late to get A.J. Dillon in Dynasty because people are probably like, well, I'm holding on to this motherfucker. He's going to be a beast. We saw a pass-catching ability last year that we didn't think he had. So A.J. Dillon, it's going to be his time to shine, possibly as the full starter next year if they cut Aaron Jones. But definitely, remember that Aaron Jones will be heavily involved this season still. So you're going to have weeks where he might not produce as well.
He's got a little bit of Saquon in him, too.
He does. Next, 56, we got Tua. If you watch Adam's reel, we know Tyreek's blowing some fucking smoke with this dude. I do like his opportunity. He does have some good skill players around him, and time's really going to tell. If he's not good this year, he's probably not going to make the NFL. I would take a chance on him here in a super flex around the spot. It's a good value, but just really be cautious. Like, I wouldn't want him as my QB1 in the startup, so just be cautious with him. But there is some upside with Tua.
Right, and I will say about Tua, before his hip injury, he was being talked about as a more athletic Drew Brees. Now, that hip injury almost ended his career, almost ended his life. Like, it's a serious injury. It might take some time for him to feel completely comfortable on the football field. This year is a make or break year for him. If he comes back to the shell if he's just a shell of himself, he's done. But if he comes back to that full strength with all these targets, he can be dangerous. You just gotta be very cautious because, like I said earlier, Shakira said it best: hips don't lie, but Tua's do lie. So be careful.
Yeah, definitely be careful. But you got some high risk, high reward there. Next, another similar story, high risk, high reward, is Justin Fields, quarterback for the Bears. I have not liked what I've seen, and honestly, I do think the guy's talented, but I just do not like what the Bears are setting him up for. They haven't invested in O-line yet. They didn't invest in any really good receivers around him. They do have Mooney. Komet definitely buy him as a tight end because he's probably going to target him a lot. He does have that rushing ability, which we do like, but I'm not a big Fields guy. But
he might have a similar season fantasy-wise to Jalen Hurts last year, where he's going to put up numbers. I don't know if that's going to produce for the Bears in terms of wins. I will tell you right now, I did rank Tua over Justin Fields personally. Just because that rushing upside, I feel like they both kind of have that. And at the end of the day, Tua's in a better situation, better weapons, stuff like that. But Justin Fields, if he gets his throwing mechanics down, like I mentioned earlier, has a chance to be one of the better QBs in the league. It really comes down to, can he figure it out? Yeah. Do I think he will? I hope so.
We'll see what happens with Fields for sure. Next, TJ Watt, fucking defensive player of the year, beast, Wisconsin boy. We love TJ Watt. He's one of the first guys you should be drafting in IDP. Like we said, he's got the DLLB tag. Watch the IDP video again. Seriously, you're gonna get some great new perspective on why you should do it. But we love TJ Watt. He's 27. He's got a lot of years left. I expect another 20 sack season this year. I really do. And it's only been done one other time, twice, and that's his brother JJ. Watched some highlights last night, getting excited about the guy. I really am. Next, another Steeler, we got Deontay, off-brand, Devonta Adams Johnson. He had a really good season last year, but I think it was more just volume-based than actual, him being good because Big Ben, he's retired and he loved him. And we got
he is retired.
We got a little bit money Mitch there, and we got Kenny Two Glove No Slide Pickett. So we'll see if he likes him. They got Pickens, who's tearing up in training camp. They got Claypool, got hurt because his shoulder hurts. So we'll see what happens.
I like the top 3 receiver in the league.
Oh, Claypool? Yeah, that's fucking bullshit. Claypool will wake up, buddy. But
I wonder who the 2 people he thought were better than him.
Probably the 2 guys on his fucking team. I do like Deontay. Like, he has a good win now move. I'm nervous. Like, his contract's up. They didn't agree to an agreement. They didn't agree to a contract extension. There's new people coming in there. So we'll see. Be careful, but, we'll see. Next, first guy you should be taking in IDP. Micah fucking Parsons. I'm not a big Cowboys fan. I absolutely hate the Cowboys, actually. But I like 2 players on their team. And we'll get to a different guy later. But Micah, he showed the versatility to be an outstanding pass rusher and a great linebacker. He put up the numbers of tackles and sacks. He got that D-line tag now. That's fucking terrifying because he's going to get you fantasy points. And if you don't have him, I'm scared to play Sam Chubb. I really am. He is a good-ass player. Definitely, him, Watt, Garrett, top 3 guys, we all kind of agree should be who you're targeting with IDP. And, we rank him 52, so definitely put that in perspective. The offensive players, how we, decipher them into offense and defense players. So take a look at that when you get IDP going in your league because we convinced you to. Next, we got big fucking Mike Evans. Love this motherfucker. He's had 1,000 yards a season every season of his career. I expect this could be his biggest season this season. I know they signed Julio Jones. Watch the real Christian. He does have a lot of, upside. We don't know what's going to happen there. I like Mike a lot. I don't know how good Godwin's going to be coming off the ACL. They did sign Russell Gage, but Tom Brady loves this motherfucker. He's going to get so many red zone targets, and Mike Evans, yes, he doesn't have a lot of years probably left to produce a lot of big numbers, but he's got probably 2 or 3 years left, and this season could be his best. So if you're trying to go all in right now, definitely invest in
If
him.
Mike Evans is healthy, Tom Brady literally tells the media, hey, this is going to be my number one target this year, and he's going to be great. He talks so highly of Mike Evans, and every year in, year out, whoever that person he chooses is great. Simple as that.
All right, that rounds out our next 50 people on the list. Thank you guys for watching. Please give us a subscription here on YouTube, baby. We love it. Check out our Instagram. We got reels coming all the time. We're going to have our next 50 coming tomorrow, so keep watching, guys, and we're going to help you guys win some damn leagues soon.
Let's do our thing. Cover 3 out, baby.